My brothers and sisters, every single one of us goes through hardship. It may be financial stress, emotional turmoil, betrayal, loneliness, sickness, or fear of the unknown. And what's the first thing we often do when we're overwhelmed? We rush to people. We start sharing our problems, hoping they'll solve them for us. But let me remind you, people can't always help you. Sometimes they don't care. Sometimes they can't do anything about it. And sometimes you open your heart only to be judged or gossiped about. But there is one who never gets tired of your complaints. He never turns you away. He never says, "I've heard enough." That is Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. When the world fails you, He is still listening. When no one understands, He knows exactly what you're feeling, even those things you can't explain in words. You see, sometimes we look for sympathy in the wrong places. We expect people to fill the gaps only Allah can fill. But the truth is, your heart is made for Him. He is the one who gives peace in the middle of chaos, light in the darkest tunnel, and solutions when doors seem closed. So pour your heart out to Him. Bahi, in the dead of night, when everyone is asleep, raise your hands and talk to your Lord. Cry if you have to. Don't hold back. Say, "Ya Allah, you know, you see, you are the one who has the power. Make a way for me." And you'll be amazed how doors start opening. You'll be amazed how you begin to feel lighter, even if nothing around you has changed yet, because your burden has been transferred to the one who can carry it. Never underestimate the power of sincere dua. It's not about fancy words. It's not about being perfect. It's about being honest, broken, and hopeful in front of the one who mends hearts. Remember the Prophet Ayub. He was sick. He lost his family, his wealth, his health, everything. And he said just one heartfelt dua. "Indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful." That's it. No complaints, no blaming, just surrender. And what happened? Allah healed him, restored his blessings, and honored his patience. You don't need the world to know your pain. You need Allah to heal it. Sometimes, the more people you tell, the more complicated your life becomes. You open yourself up to opinions, judgment, and false hopes. But when you speak to Allah, there's clarity, there's peace, there's power. My beloved brothers and sisters, the next time your heart feels heavy, pause. Don't pick up your phone. Don't go posting your sadness online. Don't look for sympathy in the wrong places. Go straight to your prayer mat. Sit with your hands raised and your heart humbled. Tell Him everything. And then leave it to Him. Trust that He's already working on something beautiful for you. And if the wait feels long, be patient. He is never late. He is never careless. He is never unaware. Sometimes the delay itself is the blessing. You'll only understand it later. But your job is to trust, to believe, and to keep turning back to Him. So remember this. People might listen to your problems once or twice. Allah listens every time. People might forget your pain. Allah never does. People might fail you. Allah never will. Speak to Him. Cry to Him. Complain only to Him. And you'll find Him closer than you ever imagined. He will make a way, even when you see no way. How often have we gone through situations where we're overwhelmed, confused, or broken, and our first instinct is to look for someone to talk to? We want someone to understand us, to hear us out, to give us a solution. And while sometimes people do try, they listen, they offer words of comfort, They sympathize, but deep down, we still feel like the burden hasn't left. Then we simply feel like the burden hasn't left. The pain hasn't really disappeared. The uncertainty is still there. Why? Because people can sympathize, but they cannot solve. They are just as helpless as you when it comes to the unseen. They do not control your future. They cannot write your destiny. They do not know what lies ahead. Only Allah can do that. You see, humans are limited. Even if someone loves you dearly, they can only do so much. They might give you advice, they might give you time, they might even offer support, but they cannot change your circumstances with a command. They cannot remove your grief with a word. They cannot guarantee your success, healing, or protection. They don't own your riz, they don't hold your cure. And that's where the true believer begins to understand the difference between creation and the Creator. The one who created your heart is the one who understands it best. The one who knows what you cry about in silence. The one who watches you at your weakest. The one who has the power to turn things around in an instant. That is Allah. When He decides, no one can stop it. When He gives, no one can force it. And when He withholds, no one can force it. That's the reality we forget when we become too dependent on people. Sometimes Allah tests us by letting us go to people and not find what we're looking for. You cry to someone and feel worse after. You open your heart and get judged instead. You seek advice but find confusion. And that moment is a reminder. You were meant to turn to Allah first. You were meant to lean on Him, to cry to Him, to consult Him through istikhara, to complain to Him like the prophets did. But look at Jacob, when he lost his beloved son, Joseph. He didn't go around telling everyone his sorrow. He didn't seek sympathy from the people. He said, I complain of my sorrow and grief only to Allah. That's the level of trust a believer is supposed to have. Not that you isolate yourself or never talk to anyone, but that your deepest reliance is on the one who can actually do something about it. Because when Allah decides to solve your problem, it doesn't matter how complicated it is, He can bring relief from places you never imagined. He can bring healing in ways doctors can't explain. He can change hearts, open doors, and create paths where there were none. So instead of chasing people for help, chase the one who controls the people. Sometimes we spend days, weeks, even years depending on others for happiness. We think, if only they would understand me, or if only they would help, or if only they would come back into my life. But those if-onlys are distractions. Your heart was never supposed to attach itself to anyone more than it attaches to Allah. Because people will come and go. They will disappoint. They will misunderstand. They will forget. But Allah never does. He is always there, always listening, always able. So the next time you feel like the walls are closing in, don't rush to the phone. Don't rush to type out a post, hoping someone will notice. Don't sit there waiting for a reply from someone who's not even sure what to say. Instead, turn to your prayer mat. Raise your hands. Speak to Allah as you would to the most loving, the most powerful, the most caring. And then watch how your heart starts to calm. Watch how your mind begins to clear. Watch how things begin to change, not necessarily immediately, but gradually, in ways that make you realize, Allah heard me. Allah knew what I needed, even when I didn't. So yes, people may sympathize. They may pat you on the back and say, stay strong. and that helps. But when it comes to actual solutions, when it comes to truly changing your condition, only Allah can do that. That's why the smartest thing a believer can do is go to Him first, trust in Him completely, and wait with patience for His perfect timing. We live in a world where communication is everywhere. We can talk to people within seconds, send a message, make a call, or post something online and get instant responses. And yet, despite all this access, many hearts are empty. Many people are struggling with anxiety, sadness, and confusion. They speak to dozens of people, hoping to find peace, but the pain remains. The heart is still unsettled. Why is that? Because true peace doesn't come from being heard by people, it comes from being heard by your Lord. When you're overwhelmed, people might listen to your story, they might give advice, they might try to cheer you up, but they don't truly know what you're going through. They can't feel the weight in your chest. They don't see the thoughts that keep you awake at night. They don't understand what it took for you to smile when your heart was breaking. That's something only Allah knows. Only He sees it all. Only He understands you in the way you need to be understood. And that's why the heart settles when you speak to Him. When you sit down alone, raise your hands and pour your soul out to your Creator, the one who made you, who shaped your heart, who knows what it's carrying. When you cry to Him sincerely, when you tell Him your fears, your weaknesses, your hopes, and your pain, there's a calmness that begins to enter your soul. You didn't get a text back, you didn't get a like or a comment, but your Lord heard you. And when He hears you, something changes. You begin to realize you're not alone. You begin to understand that even if the entire world doesn't get it, He does. And that realization itself is a huge relief. To know that there is someone above the heavens, closer to you than your jugular vein, who knows everything you're going through, even the things you didn't know how to say. The heart is not made to be healed by human conversation alone. It is made to be healed by connection with its Maker. That's why in the darkest moments, people who turn to Allah find light. That's why when someone stands in prayer, pouring their heart out in sujud, they feel stronger afterward. Not because the problem disappeared, but because the burden was shared with the one who can actually lift it. You see, we often run to the wrong doors. We speak to friends who have no solutions. We talk to strangers who offer opinions without understanding. And sometimes we walk away feeling even more confused. But when we go to Allah, even without words, even with just tears, there is clarity, there is strength, there is patience, there is peace. Allah doesn't need eloquence from you. He doesn't require fancy language. He wants sincerity. He wants your heart to call out to Him, to recognize Him as the source of peace, healing, and strength. And when you do that, even the worst of storms feel easier to bear. Think of the prophets. Think of the pain they went through. Did they gather crowds to vent? Did they look for sympathy from people? No. They turned to Allah. When Musa stood in fear, what did he say? My Lord, indeed I am in need of whatever good you send down to me. When Yunus was in the belly of the whale, isolated, alone, suffocating, what did he say? There is no God but you. Glory be to you. Indeed, I have been among the wrongdoers. And Allah responded to them. He always does. So whatever you're carrying, carry it to Him. Don't keep it locked inside your chest, Don't keep trying to fix your heart by throwing it into conversations that leave you emptier. Go to your prayer mat, go in the quiet of the night. Go when no one sees. And speak, just speak. He is listening, always. That is where peace comes from. Not from replies, not from validation, not from sympathy, but from knowing that the one who created you, who sustains you, who loves you more than anyone ever could, is listening to you. And he is enough. Sometimes in life, we find ourselves stuck. We don't know which way to turn. We try everything. We talk to people, we ask for advice, we take action, but the problem remains. And in those moments, it's easy to feel hopeless. But the truth is, we often overlook the most powerful tool we have, dua. A sincere supplication made with full trust in Allah can do more than any conversation, any plan, any worldly effort. You see, dua is not just a ritual. It's not just something we do when we need something. Dua is a form of worship. It's a sign of humility, a sign that you recognize your limits and acknowledge the limitless power of Allah. It is you raising your hands and saying, Ya Allah, I can't do this alone. Help me, guide me, strengthen me. That moment, when your heart is broken, when your eyes are filled with tears, when your voice is trembling and you turn to your Lord, that is one of the most powerful moments in your life. People may try to help you, but they are limited. They may want the best for you, but they don't control the outcomes. They can offer words, comfort, and support, but they cannot change your destiny. Only Allah can. And that is why the believer turns to Him first, not last. Dua is not a last resort. It is the first step. It is what opens doors when every door has been shut. It is what brings light when everything seems dark. Think of the stories we are told in the Quran. Every time a prophet faced a trial, he made dua. When Nuh was rejected by his people for hundreds of years, he didn't give up. He made dua. When Ibrahim was thrown into the fire, he trusted Allah completely, and Allah made the fire cool for him. When Musa stood in front of the Red Sea with an army behind him, he turned to Allah, and Allah split the sea. When Maryam felt pain and isolation, she cried to her Lord, and Allah sent her miraculous comfort. When Ayub was covered in sickness, he made dua with patience and was healed. Every one of these moments shows us the same lesson. When the believer turns to Allah with sincerity, Allah responds in ways that no one else can. This is not just history, it's a pattern of divine mercy that continues to this day. It is still open for you right now, no matter how messy your situation is. Some people think, I've made dua so many times and nothing has changed. But maybe something has changed. You just haven't seen it yet. Maybe Allah has already protected you from something harmful. Maybe He is preparing something better for you. Maybe He is strengthening your patience. Maybe the delay is a lesson, not a denial. The power of dua is not just in what you see, it's in what Allah knows, what He protects you from, and what He gives you when the time is right. And don't forget, even if the answer to your dua seems delayed, the act of making dua itself is a gift. You are building a connection with your Creator. You are talking directly to the one who knows you better than you know yourself. What could be more beautiful than that? That's why we are told to make dua at all times, in hardship and in ease. Don't wait for things to break before you remember Allah. Talk to Him every day. Be consistent. even a silent prayer in your heart, a whispered request, a tear that falls while thinking of Him. He knows, He sees, and He will respond. The next time you are struggling, pause. Before you call anyone, before you post online, before you panic, go make wudu, stand in prayer and talk to your Lord. Raise your hands and make dua. Speak from your heart. Don't worry about fancy words. Just be sincere. Your Lord understands every language, every emotion, every silence. And remember, dua can change what you thought was written in stone. It can protect you from harm, bring you closer to good, and strengthen you in ways no human ever could. It is not weakness, it is strength. It is not desperation, it is devotion. So hold on to this weapon, use it every day. Because when you speak to the one who created the heavens and the earth, nothing is impossible. So many of us walk through life carrying heavy burdens, emotional stress, financial worries, fear of the future, heart loneliness. And in those moments of weakness, we naturally seek support. We look around for people who might help us, people who might understand us, people who might rescue us from our pain. And yes, human connection is important, but if your heart is depending entirely on people, you will be disappointed again and again. Because people are not perfect. They get tired, they misunderstand, they have their own problems. The very people you trust may walk away when you need them most, and sometimes they want to help but simply can't. That's when you realize something powerful. True peace, true strength, and true solutions come only when you rely on Allah alone. When you put your full trust in Allah, not just with your words, but with your heart, you start to witness things you never expected. Doors begin to open. Solutions appear from places you never imagined. Your heart starts to feel lighter, even before the situation changes. Why? Because you've handed your affairs over to the one who controls everything. Think about this. When you rely on people, you're depending on those who don't even have control over their own lives. They can't change your destiny, they can't write your future, and they can't stop your pain. But when you rely on Allah, you're depending on the one who owns the entire universe. He already knows your tomorrow. He already knows the outcome of your struggle, and He never abandons the one who trusts in Him. There's a beautiful sense of liberation that comes when you let go of worldly dependencies and say, "Ya, I leave it all to you." That's not weakness. That's the greatest form of strength, because it means you've understood that the only one who can truly help you is the one above the heavens. The moment you do that, you'll notice a shift, not just in your circumstances, but in your heart. The Prophet Ibrahim was thrown into a fire. There was no one there to save him, no friend, no army, no escape. But his heart was full of reliance on Allah, and Allah didn't need anyone else to act. He simply commanded, "O fire, be cool and peaceful for Ibrahim." The fire that was meant to destroy him became a garden of peace. That's what happens when you rely on Allah. He changes the laws of nature for you if He wills. So many times we try to fix our lives through people. We beg them, we chase them, we overthink about them, and we exhaust ourselves emotionally and spiritually. But when you finally reach that point where you stop turning to the creation and you turn completely to the Creator, you begin to feel peace even in the middle of the storm. It doesn't mean your problems disappear instantly, but your heart becomes calm, your mind becomes clearer, Your soul becomes stronger. You begin to say, even if things don't go my way, I trust that Allah's way is better for me. And with that mindset, nothing can break you. Not rejection, not loss, not delay. Because you're not holding on to people, you're holding on to the one who never lets go. Let's be honest, this world is temporary, people come and go, circumstances change, wealth fades, health declines, but Allah remains. His mercy remains. His help is always near. So why waste your time chasing the unreliable when the most reliable is waiting for you to turn to Him? When you wake up, start your day with dua. Before you speak to anyone else, speak to Allah. Before you stress about the day ahead, place your trust in Him. Say, Ya Allah, I don't know what's coming, but You do. Handle it for me. And then go about your day knowing He's in control. That's where miracles begin. That's when things start to fall into place. That's when you feel a deep peace that nothing in the world can buy. The strongest people are not the ones who have the most support from others. They are the ones who place their complete trust in Allah and rely on Him through every difficulty, every delay, every disappointment. So stop depending on people. Depend on the one who never fails, and you'll witness miracles, both around you and within you.